Hi guys. So I'm outside today because it is too nice to be inside, and I want to read a story. It's another fable. A fable is a story that is passed down from generation to generation, and then finally someone writes it down. So this fable, and it's also a fairy tale, is called Red Riding Hood. So this is our story called Red Riding Hood, and it's retold again and illustrated by James Marshall. So yesterday's book was retold by an author. This one is retold. It means it's passed down and from generation to generation, and somebody's retelling it. So again, Red Riding Hood, written, retold, and illustrated by James Marshall. Okay. One afternoon, see if we can do it this way so you can see. One afternoon, Red Riding Hood's mother called to her. Granny isn't feeling well. She has she isn't up to snuff today, she said, so I've baked her favorite custard as a little surprise. Be a good girl and take it to her, will you? Red Riding Hood was delighted. She loved going to Granny's, even though it meant crossing the deep, dark woods. When the custard had cooled, Red Riding Hood's mother wrapped it up and put it in a basket. Now, whatever you do, she said, go straight to Granny's. Do not tarry, do not speak to any strangers. Yes, Mamma, said Red Riding Hood. There goes Red Riding Hood off to Grandma's house. Before long, she was in the deepest part of the woods. Ooh, she said, this is scary. You see anything lurking in the woods? I see something. Suddenly, a large wolf appeared. Good afternoon, my dear, he said. Care to stop for a little chat? Oh, gracious me, said Red Riding Hood. Mamma said, do not speak to any strangers. Hmm, good job. She's not listening. She's listening to her mom and she's not stopping and talking to strangers. But the wolf had such charming manners. And where are you going, sweet thing? He said. I'm going to on my way to visit Granny, who lives in a pretty yellow house on the other side of the woods, said Red Riding Hood. She's feeling poorly, and I'm taking her a surprise. You don't say, said the wolf. And just then he had a delightful idea. No reason why I can't eat them both, he thought. Allow me to escort you, he said. You'll never know what might be lurking about. You're too kind, said Little Red Riding Hood. All right, so maybe Little Red Riding Hood is not listening to her mother because she's talking to the wolf, even though he's a stranger. Beyond the forest, they came to a patch of sunflowers. Why not pick a few, suggested the wolf. Grannies love flowers, you know. But while Little Red Riding Hood was picking a pretty bouquet, the clever wolf hurried on ahead to Granny's house. Who is it? Called out Granny. It is I, your delicious darling granddaughter, said the wolf in a high voice. The door is unlocked, said Granny. Uh-oh, there's the sneaky wolf. He's going into Granny's house. Surprise! Cried the wolf. Granny was furious at having her reading interrupted. Get out of here, you horrid thing, she cried. But the wolf gobbled her up. He didn't even bother to chew. Tasty, he said, patting his belly. So tasty. Just then he heard footsteps on the garden path. Here comes dessert. And losing no time, he put on Granny's cap and glasses, jumped into bed, and pulled up the covers. Uh-oh. Wonder what's gonna happen. Who is it? He called in the sweetest granny voice. It is I, your little granddaughter, said Little Red Riding Hood. The door is unlocked, said the wolf. Red Riding Hood was distressed at seeing her grandmother so changed. Why, Granny, she said, you, what big eyes you have. The better to see you, my dear, said the wolf. And Granny, what long arms you have. Oh, the better to hug you, my dear, said the wolf. And Granny, what big teeth you have. The better to eat you, my dear, cried the wolf. Uh-oh, that wolf's not being a very good person. ate Granny, and now he wants to eat Little Red Riding Hood. And he gobbled her right up. I'm so wicked, he said, so wicked. But really, he was enormously pleased with himself, and having enjoyed such a heavy meal, he was soon snoring away. Well, a hunter passing by was alarmed by the frightful racket. That doesn't look like Granny, he said. And so the brave hunter jumped in the window and killed the sleeping wolf and cut him open. And out jumped Granny and Red Riding Hood. We're ever so grateful, said Red Riding Hood. That wicked wolf won't trouble you again, said the hunter. It was so dark in there I couldn't read a word, said Granny. Red Riding Hood promised never ever to speak to another stranger again, charming manners or not. So even if the stranger has good manners and is nice, you should never talk to him. And look, she never did. The end. All right, guys, that was Little Red Riding Hood, and I hope you enjoyed the story. Now, I want you to tell me what your favorite part of the story was, and then write me a sentence. I'll talk to you later. Bye.